Hi there. I am so excited that you guys are going to be joining us. I just wanted to take a few minutes to welcome you and to show you a couple of the favorites that are in our house here and some favorites across the board, popular ones. First, we have our baby's very first little black and white library. It comes in a little case and a little box set, and it comes with 4 different books. We have babies, going out, faces, and animals. And these are board books, so they're thick, durable, easy to be wiped off and clean. They're great for our little developing eyes. And also, when we start learning about learning the different animals, so that they can recognize the word and what the animal is. We also have ones that are really great for tummy time. This one is one of my favorites, along with one of my kids' favorites, because Drew, he's able to lay on the floor and he can see them. It helps with the developing eyes, the great black and white with the pops of color throughout it. It's also great for our young ones who are just starting to learn. They're learning their numbers. They can go through and they can count along and count each of the flowers, the fish, and so on throughout this one. It's part of our accordion books. We also have a C one. We now have a few more that just came out. We can't forget about our very first Nursery Rhymes, also another board book. So it's got the thick, durable pages. It goes through classic nursery rhymes, so they're shorter. They're not the full, long versions, like Little Miss Muffet, Hey Diddle Diddle, and of course, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Beautifully illustrated pages. Thick, great for our little hands, great for nap time, before nap time. We can't forget our Touchy Feely books. So this is one of our popular series, which is our That's Not My series. This one is my son's favorite. He loves his penguins. He loves to be able to feel the different textures throughout the book. He also likes to find the little mouse on each of the pages. And Drew is just starting to get into these because he's just starting to discover the different areas to feel the different things and to be able to try and turn the pages on his own. And these will be really great for when your children start to read because of the easy, simple text on each of the pages. And then they get to start to identify with what things are. So this baby is so fluffy, so they can identify with the feeling of fluffy. We also have our baby's very first Touchy Feely Animals book, so we can identify with the textures: the hairy dog, the soft rabbit, a furry cat, a bumpy frog. Great texture words, fuzzy. And then in the back we can identify with the animals that we saw throughout it, and they can start to identify with the colors of the animals also. While we're on the learning things, we have our little red penguin series. Comes in a set of 4, or you can buy them individually. This one is our shapes book. It also has words, numbers, and even colors. So this one's fun because it allows you to go through and your child has to find all the squares. And then it asks you, did you find them all? And then you can reveal the flap and all the squares that were found on the page. It goes through the different shapes, helps them to identify. And it's fun because they have the little interactive flaps with them. Some of our favorite storybooks that we read before bedtime. This one is one of my favorites, which is Animally. It's a great book because it's really sweet, great images, great pictures, but it's also got wonderful rhyming words throughout it. So this is, I love you busily like a bee, I love you doggedly like a flea, I love you gently like a lamb, I love you boldly like a ram. And it goes through and you can see the different animals, and it explains how much the parent loves the child, explaining it with the different animals. So I love you loyally like a dog, I love you enormously like a hog, I love you birdily, bugly, animally, I love you for you are my family. It's really cute. This one is my son's absolute favorite because it goes through the alphabet. It's great for learning the alphabet also, and it can also be a dual reader book because my son likes to read the letter, then I get to read the text throughout it, and it's got a wonderful commonality through each of the pages. The little dog appears, but it also helps to they can identify with their colors what something is, and it has these little either animals or different objects that associate with the word, the letter. So this one is C, it's got a little cloud, the little dog. D is the dog, and he's also the commonality throughout the book. So E, we have egg, they can learn what egg is. Our egg starts with E. F is for flower. It's also F for my fingers that are holding on tight because it's a great book for before bed. G, we have a giraffe. It says G is for Gran with an H for her hug. She tucks me in tight like a bug in a rug. And we have the story that goes on throughout it. But we also have our textures, our patterns, other association words to go with each of the letters that goes throughout the book. W is whispering prayers for us all. X for relax. Now I'm facing the wall. Y is for yawn and I'm ready for sleep. All hushed until morning, you won't hear a peep. Z is for Z, 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 Z. We also have our little new one, which is a zebra, little stuffed zebra. And then it's finally good night, and the little puppy is sleeping. And that's the end of this book is the end, my son's favorite, because he likes to say Z is for Z, Z, Z. And then he says good night. Another pairing book to go with B is for Bedtime. It's also by the same authors, so you can see the little child that shows up throughout it. We go through the numbers, so we go through 1 all the way through. It goes through the days, so 1 through 12, because it also goes with the clock. 11 quiet birds high up on the wire. 12 dry sticks collected for the fire. And you can see the description of it. And then we jump to 20. Then we go to hundreds for our children to start identifying with larger numbers, thousands of raindrops falling from the sky, and millions of stars to count. One day I might try, but one silver moon shining big and bright, one loving kiss, now I'm tucked in tight. Another great one that they can go through, just like B is for Bedtime, that can be read before bed, so they can count and learn and get that repetition through it. Another one that is great for counting is counting to 100, and it goes through. It's got these wonderful pictures. 1 full moon, we have 2 dogs, 3 red buses, 4 funny houses, 5 hot air balloons, and they can go through and they can count each of these, so it helps them with counting and going through numerically all the way through 1 through 10. Then we have 20. We allow our children to count to 20. We also have other things that they can go through and they can do. Who is the first and who is the last? So they can also find a cat driving a pink car. So it's also a great look and find book also. We have 30 animals. So we have here are 6 groups of animals with 5 in each group. How many animals all together? And we can go through and we can have our children find the groups of animals by their colors. Then we can have them find and count them as a whole. 40 birds, 50 city windows. How many buildings are there and how many windows does each building have? So it's also great for them to find and count. Another one that can be counted, all the fish or sea life. You can count them by the colors and tell them how many there and have them tell us how many there are in each of them. We have 70 pretty flowers, 80 swirling leaves, and then finally we have 100 twinkling stars. So that's the end of that. It's really great to help them to be able to get them to count into larger numbers, prepare them for school. And my last favorite, and we're just going to get into this one, this is the part of our wipe clean. It's beginning pen control. It's a really great book or activity book for them to be introduced to things that they're going to have to do once they get into school. And it's really great because it allows them, they can go and see the little dotted lines throughout it. And it helps them to start drawing so that they can get used to holding a pen, and then they can draw the shapes, squiggles, triangles. They also have arches, straight lines, curves, circles. Then we get into squiggles. It's great for repetition, swirls, to be able to get them, their hands, their little fingers to be stronger so they're getting ready to start writing once they get into school. And these are great because they can go through each of the pages, they can draw it, they can write their little arches, they can follow the lines and their swirls. And then in the ends, everything can be wiped off and they can do it again another day. So those are some of our favorites, some of my favorites, some of my kids' favorites, and hopefully they'll become some of your favorites. I hope that some of that what I showed you, you might be interested in, might want your kids to have them. You can go ahead and you can put those right into your cart. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm always here to help. So I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to see what it is that you guys purchase.